Peace, 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 peace. Jumbo, welcome to the Vital Hoops podcast, right here on Black Power Media Reloaded. My name is Fernando Cardenas, aka International XB. I am your host, and this is episode number 94. Today we have a great guest, a revolutionary MC from ALikes, RBG's People Army, the brother NE $. Ness, peace, my brother. Welcome back to the Vital Hoops podcast. What's good? How you doing, man?
Good, brother. How you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm happy to have you back on, man. Episode 87. You was here, and now this is 94, man. So,
Thank you for having me, man. Y'all busy, man. That's what's up.
hey, man, we trying to do it, man, for the people, for the culture,
Indeed, indeed.
For
We do
sure,
it.
man. Matter of fact, we last week actually we played one of your videos. We're gonna get into that, man. But on our morning show, on the Rise Up morning show, we played
Okay.
Capitalism. We played your video, man. And that's
Right.
why we have you here today, brother. So it's dope. We want to talk about your new album, man. There's more of us than them.
Respect, sir. There's more of us than them.
That's
Just dropped literally fresh, fresh off the presses, fresh to the world. And super just excited to finally, get the project out. We were working on it for a little bit, really like the last 10 months or so. And
uh-huh.
then but there was some tracks from even before that. So
Okay.
anytime you do a project, it's just like a journey, and you like get to a certain space, and the journey continues, but at least you kind of get to a rest stop, and you can kind of look around and see just how people receive it. And right now the people are showing a lot of love. I'm getting a lot of DMs,
Mm.
a lot of phone calls out of nowhere, like, yo, bro, like homies from years back, homies from the West Coast, from Europe, from just different places.
Yeah.
And the reception has been, beautiful. So I'm very appreciative,
Man, I'm so happy that you're saying that, you know what I'm saying? Because
like,
people like you, man, and that type of sound and music, man, is what really represents the culture. And so it's dope to know that people are feeling it, are loving it, are supporting it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we need. We need, especially in this climate right now, man, we need these types of artists that are willing to say what they need to say and what must be said and say it our way, man. You know what I'm saying? Not being afraid, not censoring ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And just doing it the way it needs to be said, man, because, there's so much bullshit and so much, a lot of artists, some are just straight up just, slackness and doing bullshit. But then some artists are just they're scared to kind of say the things and do the things because they think, I might not be able to play my shit over here and not be able to, if I say this or do that, I won't be able to, you know what I'm saying? So it's important to have it raw and uncut the way you
me,
bringing it, man.
that's a part of self. But this is a real thing that I've heard, from a few people, of the courage to speak truth to time where, especially here in the States, and it's probably, in most of us, where stuff is going even more right, if you will. I don't even like using that word left, right, but it's just getting more conservative, more,
Yeah.
you just feel the energy of the system of the ruling class kind of like trying to impose their will. And people are like, damn, man, that's real brave. And I just think of Asada, you know what I mean? And one of her, her taglines that, she borrowed, but, we got nothing to lose but our chains, man.
That's right.
And, I mean, it's a saying that, you could kind of be like, just, talking romantically, but in reality, it's like, what do we got to lose to say what we're going to say? Obviously, you could lose endorsements if you're a bigger artist, an artist that, sells in the mainstream, certain, but even then, it's like, how long are you going to run?
That's right.
There's that. But for me, you know what I mean? We in the underground, man.
That's right.
We're independent, ain't worried about no, label head talking about some, yo, do you have to say that? Do you have to say that? We just creating. When I create, whether it's super protest music or I'm just telling stories of my life or my homie's life or, the streets or whatever, it's like when I'm locked in, working on music and
Hmm.
working on art, just period, I try not to think about nothing else, just be pure, zone in, zone out, lock in, and, just have a certain energy with it. So
Word
thank you,
up.
man, for that.
Yeah, man. So October 7th was the date you released the album, man. I want to get into all the tracks and all of that, man. But before I know you had a release party, right? Like an album release party down in Miami.
Yes,
Talk to me a little
yes,
bit
yes.
about that, man. How'd that go?
Album release party. We had our album release party here in Miami in Wynwood,
Mm,
which is kind of like the art district.
yeah.
Good homie of mine, actually my cousin through like some fam. We actually found that out in the last few years. DJ Tillery James, he has a night that he normally does with Jerobi from Tribe at 1-800 Lucky here in Wynwood, and he does it every Tuesday. He does like a hip hop night where
Okay.
he plays that shit,
Okay.
and we had built about it, and he was like, "Yo, we should do the album release party here." So we kind of planned it with like not too much time, so it was just like I was in New York at the time. We built the body, got the album release party together, and it was like I literally flew in the day before, was just doing a lot. But when I got there, just to see my people's there and the energy and the music playing from the album in big club, like the venue speakers was dope.
So,
He was like, what I mean, cutting up the different records. And it's just
mm,
like I was saying earlier, you work on the project, and then once you put it out, that moment or that time period is another part of the art because you
right.
get to see how it's received in the world. You get to hear it out, and it's dope. We
Right.
rock. I mean, I rock. I invited MCs, from Miami to pull up and be
Mm,
like, "Yo, not only am I gonna, do some songs from the album,
yeah.
but on the flyer, we basically like, hip hop is a weapon, calling all MCs to, come out and let's show them the true power of hip hop type
Word.
thing." And we had these brothers from the Second Ave Cipher on Instagram. They go by Dirty Five. It's basically a collective of MCs that meet up every Tuesday on the block in Wynwood in the Art District. And what I mean, just be spitting in the cipher like some almost some old school, type shit.
Word.
And we always see each other around at different events, different venues,
Mm,
different shows down here, like the Spot Lincoln Beard, where a lot of the hip hop shows, be Mobb Deep rock there, Karen Swan, Smith and Wesson gonna rock there soon. I've rocked there,
word.
and every time that we link up, I make sure I give them their flowers, salute them to keep the tradition alive of, what I mean, this oral tradition, if you will, of like,
Hmm.
spitting right on the block. So they came, they rocked, and it was just vibes. I mean, people got some of the new pieces. Let me show you some of the new
Yeah,
pieces
please
we got
do, man.
out here. The,
Dope,
the, what I mean, new pop prints and stuff like this.
man.
I had these pieces out here, this type of stuff. Yeah,
Man, the
yeah.
quality on that, man, the quality looks serious.
Bro, I go in. I go in. This is not a game. Like I treat
Right.
everything relatively the same, like detail and textures,
Word
whether
up.
it's sonic textures or I mean physical shit. So yeah, but it was a dope night. And then I had to go to sleep after that. Like I said, I was just like I was fried. People like, yo, let's do this, let's do that. After I'm like, love y'all, thank y'all. Like let's stay connected, let's stay building. But brother, after traveling, had to get some rest.
Word. For sure, man. All right, so let's get into the album, man. So you got 13 tracks, quality features, man, and not too many of them, but you got a few features. Um,
Yes, yes.
as far as the production, is it everything Baby J?
Yeah, everything in the last three projects been Baby J,
Yeah,
and the system don't work. The sound of the system don't work as far as like the production
yeah,
for right now is Baby J, and that's something we talked about possibly having other outside producers. But it's a labor of love, and it's something that when me and him, talked about it, he's like, yeah, I just want to do all the beats as much as I can.
yeah.
And outside of you got myself as an artist, we also have another artist, Life, that just dropped something. We'll talk about that in a
Yes,
bit.
yeah.
But he produced all of that. So basically, Baby J is like our Derringer, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
Before,
Talk just for the listeners that may not know about him. Talk a little bit about, him, where he comes from, as far as the music, everything, you know what I'm saying?
Baby J, longtime collaborator, my brother in this. We started working like way back,
Yeah, yeah.
early 2000s.
Like back when
Um,
AI Lights and all that, right?
exactly. He was one of the first producers. We had some other producers that we worked with, Stick from Dead Prez, Head Rush, which is Tahir and Abu, and Survivalists, these other brothers that we were working with, before we worked with Jay. But Baby J was the first, like when people hear, the early A Likes music, that was Baby J. The album Live or Die,
Mm.
Kill the Middleman. We did Unsigned Hype and The Source back in '03, and the tracks that got us on Unsigned Hype, some of them was Baby J tracks.
Right.
So it's a my partner in crime.
For sure.
Um, yeah, and we worked back then. Since then, he went on his journey. He was also working with Shabazz Disciple at the time. Did
Mm.
some stuff for Dead Prez. Skinny Man out in the UK, dope MC that dropped a great record out there. Council State of Mind, I think that's the name of it. He also worked with Amy Winehouse on the Valerie remix with Mark Ronson, which is
Okay.
probably the biggest record that when you go on to Spotify, he's got millions and millions of plays, and also got a. When I went to the UK
Mm.
a couple of months back, and in his bathroom he has like the platinum plaque like
Okay.
of the Amy Winehouse record.
Right. Right.
And Estelle, just a few people, but Jay, super influential within the UK, real hip hop, underground hip hop scene. He's from Derby, UK,
Hmm.
Derbyshire, which is the Midlands, not far from like Birmingham and all that.
Yeah.
Real dude, his politics is in line with what we on, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's probably outside of we share a love of similar hip hop, the Mobs, the Wu-Tangs, the Nas's, that
Yeah.
real East Coast hip hop. His politic is in line, like I said, he understands what it is. He's in the
Hmm.
community. He's, been on the, out in the UK, doing movement work with
Word.
different organizations. He has this a school called Baby People Schools out in Derby that basically is a school, and I hope I say it right, but it's like they take at-risk youth that other schools might not be able to reach,
Okay.
and they come into Baby People Schools and they learn basically like the five elements in a real way. Like they have like a recording studio, production studio. They have dance,
Nice.
break dancing. There's
Right.
different
Right.
things, art, the different elements, and they basically bring them into these schools and kind of like reactivate them into like basically education,
Through hip hop.
through
Oh,
hip
that's
hop.
dope,
It's
man. Yeah.
yeah, like if y'all want to do more more of a deep dive, Baby People Schools. I think UK's first hip hop school is their
Word. Word.
tagline. So like that's the thing with Jay. Like a
Yeah.
lot of times we talk about music, like we go back and forth on WhatsApp and just be building or whatever, but we'll delve off into just
Mm.
political conversations and life conversations, and that's super important in doing music to be
No
able to
doubt.
connect outside of just the art. So that's Baby J in a nutshell.
Yeah, for sure, man. 100%, man. Shout out to Baby J, man. Big up.
Peace to Baby J.
No doubt, man. All right, let's get into the album, man. You let us know, man. Track number one, Cyrus.
Track number one. Cyrus was possibly, I think it was the last track we recorded for the album.
Okay.
So like, the last show come first type thing. Um, I love Cyrus. Like Cyrus, and with all your music, a lot of artists will say this. They like, all of my songs is like my babies. So you don't love one more than the other. But Cyrus specifically, it was a beat that kind of fell on my lap. So Jay, like I said, we're working with different artists, and different artists get different beat packs or whatever. And it was actually a beat from a beat pack that another artist didn't choose, and I was
Okay.
just going through it, and the album was basically done. But I just felt we needed a jolt. We needed something that just captured a certain grimy, bop, hard
Hmm.
energy. And when I was going through the beats, he was just like, "Yo, if you want to check out these beats, whatever." And I checked it, and I was like, "Yo, what is this?" I forget the name of it because all beats got different names. But
Right.
as soon as I heard it, I was just like, "Yeah, this one
That
right
was
here."
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was just moving around with the track. I think I was in Philly. I remember I was in Philly when I wrote like the first lines of the joint. I was in Philly. I was about to pull up and go to an event, some club or something, meet up with some peoples. And I was sitting in the car and I was playing the beats. And I don't know why the line, it's like Cyrus on that, there's only 20,000 cops in the whole city shit. It's dark outside, but it's really lit.
Mm.
Warriors and the Philly is fresh, sticky and trees, OG Philly shit. Like I was sitting there, just the 20,000 cops thing. I was thinking of Cyrus,
Mm.
and we already had the title for the record. Like we already had the title. There's more of us than them, and I was like, how can I distill this down into one, like a thing? And I just thought of that speech for those that don't know, there's a movie called Warriors
Yeah.
from like the 70s, and in it, the leader of the biggest gang. His name was Cyrus, right? And the movie starts off like this, like he's in front of basically hundreds, thousands or whatever, thousands of people, different gangs or whatever, like
Hmm.
rival gangs that whatever, and he's gathering them in this park, and I think it's in the Bronx, and he's saying a speech, basically saying how if we could link all this up, we outnumber the police.
Hmm.
And the line that he goes, now there's only 20,000 cops in the whole city. We got 60,000 soldiers plus affiliates and all that. If we can link this up, we're gonna run the city. We will have the power. So in that, like I was like, that's the most perfect thing to
Right.
use. If I was just gonna use maybe the sample of it, but just wrote the line. And sometimes when you catch a line, I'm telling you, I'm outside of a venue. There's people dressed up, being all what I mean, on they going out Saturday night Philly shit,
Mm.
and I'm sitting in the car and I'm like, all right, on my phone, just writing the lines down. And I think I got the first part. So it's like Cyrus on that. There's only 20,000 cops in the whole city shit. It's dark outside, but it's really lit. Warriors and affiliates, fresh, sticky, and trees, OG Philly shit, mobbing through the city like we own this motherfucker. Like, it's just like
Uh,
a picture of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like a
You was painting
live
a
picture.
picture for real on there, man. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a live picture, not like just militancy, and it has no style with it. It was just like
Yeah.
we moving through this, and it's almost like a joy in our resistance, joy in our militancy. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, we feeling the power of our numbers type thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for
that
sure.
track, it sets the album off.
It does.
Initially, it wasn't going to be the first song; it was going to be like the third song, but it ended up being the first one. I was just hitting like, "Yo, why don't we just start the album like bow?" And
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
powerful.
people, thank you, brother. A lot of people have been like, "Yo, I haven't gotten past the first track. I just keep playing that." I'm like, salute. So
Yeah.
Cyrus,
Yeah, no doubt, man. Cyrus, that's a dope one. Way to start the album real strong. And then you got right into track number two, Things I Had to Do, Capitalism, which you have the video for,
yes,
and the video is super dope, man.
thank
So
you.
yeah, that track is really, I felt it, you know what I'm saying? Definitely related and everything. Yeah, let us know about that one, how that come up and everything.
Capitalism, Things I
Yeah,
Had to Do was a track that we had already released as a lead up to the album, and when I heard that beat. Is similar to when I heard Cyrus, but in a more somber. It has a. It's not as energetic or as
mm,
loud energy as Cyrus, but when I heard that beat, I had this similar visceral reaction, like, "Yo, what is this?" It
right.
just sounded like classic, just like head nod, headphone music beat.
Yeah, it does.
It's like a flute or something in it,
Yeah,
um, and it sounds beautiful and has like a softness to it, but it also has like a menacing
yeah,
energy too.
grittiness. Yeah,
Also, you know what I mean. So heard the beat, told Jay, yo, I definitely want to rock on this. And like I said, it was a few months back, and when I sat down, I didn't have a plan for it. I just was just like, I'm gonna write. And once I got like the first lines, things a nigga had to do to make a living,
yeah,
stealing, robbing, copping, flipping, bagging, sling it, grinning, bared in the mirror, stop your bitch, and get up and get it or go hungry. Capitalism. Like I was like, all right, I see where I'm going with it. I'm basically talking about the redundancy, the mundane, just like a lot of times cats get on record talk about hustling like it's a fucking adventure and shit. And it's like cats out here that's in these streets, that been in a certain element, know that there's some like boring ass just get up every day, get it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
this ain't power.
yeah.
This ain't a movie. This ain't a TV show or movie. When I
Right,
say power, the power of the series. This ain't pew pew pew. We shooting and
right, right.
we were like, yeah, things could get funky, but really it's another means to an end in capitalism. And
Mm-hmm.
you get up, do what you got to do. You get back to it. Whatever it is. So I think I was going to attack it from that angle,
Yeah,
which I've talked about. I've talked about that a lot throughout the years because it's something that I think is super important to kind of like unromanticize and unglamorize,
absolutely.
like take the glamorization out of the trap and
Mm-hmm.
hustling and street stuff. Like
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, it's it's I get it. You eating, and
Yeah.
that's good that you're proud that you're able to feed your family by any means and all that. But also, let's show the side where it's like it's not necessarily all it's cracked up to be, and it's
Hmm.
just a means to an end. If we didn't have to hustle, we wouldn't hustle. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I wanted to definitely talk about that. But Jay came to me,
Hmm.
and when he heard the first verse, or actually even before the first verse, he heard that chorus thing that I did. He was just like almost challenging me, but really just kind of like we talk back and forth sometimes. He's like, if we just talk about the average working class, blue collar, energy, or not so much, hustler stories or whatever. So there's the hustle story aspect of that song.
Hmm.
But the first line of my rhyme of my first verse, I go, I wanted to draw comic books, play
Yeah.
ball, shit like that. Big
Hmm.
house, buy my mama house, shit like that. Then the realities are like, psh, give you a smack. Thinking back, forks in the road. This where we at. And I'm just basically like, let's take it back to the beginning. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Before any of that was in your life, what were you as a kid? You know what I mean? What was you doing? Like I wanted to draw comic books,
Right.
play ball, shit like that. I wanted to
Yeah.
buy my mama house, shit like that. And then the realities of life is like, psh, nah, it's there's other things that
The way you got personal with it, man, that really made it stand out, man, as one of the track because it's like, it makes it really relatable. Then when you come through in the hook and explain the whole thing, and you get personal throughout the verses, that was really dope, man. That's really
respect,
dope. You really
respect.
painted that picture.
And I talk about my mom in it, like, which
Yeah.
is something that I'm not gonna even get into specifics. Definitely listen to the song to
Yeah.
understand the context. But um, in line with what Jay was asking, like, yo, while we go there with it, I was like, the most blue collar, hardworking, working class person I know is my mom, who
Mm.
worked every service job possible, worked, all the minimum wage, low paying jobs. My mom worked at Costco here in the States. It's a big like warehouse store.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have it out there, but worked at Costco for 20 years, all that. Worked in stadiums, worked in chicken spots. I said it in the rhyme, like
Yeah.
whatever. And I just wanted to like, I didn't really want to get too personal in it just because I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to talk more macro,
Yeah.
but I just tend to, that's just where the pen took me. Like, all right,
For
we're going to
sure.
talk about it like this. So, talk about my mom in it and her journey. And there's just, a lot to it and how her and my pop met up and how, as much as, three beautiful kids came from it, then, the beginnings of that relationship was part of, is survival a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
coming from DR, Dominican Republic, a third world country, if you will. It was something that I just wanted to tell that story. So, check out the song. You'll understand what I'm talking about. But
Yeah. Yeah.
very
Definitely check
personal
that out.
song. Very
Yeah.
personal song.
Yeah. Very personal. And the video is beautiful as well, man. The video is dope.
Yes. Shout out to Sincere Seven, who worked on that. And
Mhm.
also my brother Victorious, who produced it, and
Yeah.
brought everything together. It's probably my favorite video from so far that we've done from this
Mhm.
project, but more videos coming.
Yeah, we're gonna have that one. We're gonna have the links to that one on the, down in the description, as well as the album, of course. All right, man. So track number three, election year in the track, right? So yeah, so that one is something that we can kind of relate to, man. The Democrats and the Republicans and this and that. And at the end of the day, the people at the bottom, we kind of go through the same shit. You know what I'm saying? But there's certain things that may, certain laws or things that can pass that can help or hurt a little more. It might be like something like it has to do with medicine that can help or water, what I'm saying, throughout the hoods. But in general, when we see, it goes from president to president and our people are still going through the same shit, man. So yeah, man. So you can expand on that one, man.
Lexington in the Trap, another record that we released on the lead up to the album. It was actually the first record that we released when we started the album, rollout.
Yeah.
Alexia in the Trap, you said it perfectly. I mean, it's two wings, same bird.
Mm.
It's the lesser of two evils, if you will, type thing.
Yeah.
And it was coming off of like I wrote it like right around the time started writing the record
Hmm.
right before Trump got elected or whatever.
Hmm.
And it's just I mean I've been through this enough. I'm grown. I've seen the cycle of presidents and all that. And at this stage of life, let's just look at like the talking points and what they be talking about. And even if, let's say, we wasn't revolutionaries, or if we weren't progressive, or whatever, whatever. We just folk that have, no political education in this. Like, you gotta step back and be like, what's really changing? Like,
Hmm.
and what you said is real. Like, yes, the different presidents, there might be certain things that you'll get with this president that you won't get with this president, and maybe there's less pressure that you might feel or whatever. But it's kind of like, let's say, having, and pardon this analogy, but it's like having cancer. It's like, yeah, maybe this might relieve some of the pain of the cancer, or this might do this, but ultimately we still
Yeah,
dealing with cancer unless you
that's
get
right.
rid of the
No,
cancer.
that's a good analogy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about not reform or little things. Like, we're talking about completely, having a real sustainable life on earth for for everyone, and also have self-determination for people having self-determination and the people having true power. Like, it didn't matter if it was Obama, it didn't matter if it was Biden, it didn't matter if it was whatever. And I know right now in the States, some people will hear this and be like, yeah, well, you see, Kamala didn't get in, so you see what's happening now. Like, I will admit, like, Trump got this thing real. Like,
Yeah,
every
he's
day is a
coming
new
out full
notification.
blown fascist, man. He's just out here.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a certain
Yeah,
energy right now that wasn't there with Biden,
yeah, yeah.
but structurally and in real time, like, things were still relatively, the
Hmm.
same. So that's what that song is about, basically.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No doubt.
And it's also just from the perspective of the lumpen proletariat, like, if you will, like cats that's on the street, cats that's hustling. Like, what is election year from the perspective of that level? Like,
Yeah,
so
no
that's
doubt.
that song. Love that joint. Another Baby J beat.
Yeah, another
Fire.
dope one. Yeah, for sure, man. All right, track number four: delay, deny, defend. Woo.
Delay, deny, defend is a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we say hip hop is a weapon, and delay, deny, defend is a rocket launcher. We like a bazooka out this joint. Like, straight up and down. Like, Jay was on fire. There's a time period where we had tracks in the stash
Hmm.
that we were gonna release as the album, and then he gave me a batch of new beats, like almost this time last year, but a little bit ahead. And Election in the Trap was in there, and a couple other tracks, and then he kept making tracks, and then Delayed the Not Defend is a joint. I remember he sent it to me. He was like, "Bro, this one right here, I need you to go in." And I heard it, and I was just like, "Oh, you talking about like this? Like, it's like screams in the joint. The sample got like, oh, like almost like a gospel. Like, I don't know. It just sounded like
Yeah,
apocalyptic church or something. Like, the beat was just crazy, and
it's heavy. Yeah, yeah.
I had a like, I'm always writing notes. I'm always writing. When I say writing notes, meaning like, I move around, something happens, I see some news, a notification comes up, Instagram, blah blah blah, whatever. I'll just be writing notes, and sometimes it's a rap line. Sometimes it's just, something, a word, a title,
Yeah, an
whatever,
idea.
an idea, you know what I mean? And I had wrote something around the time that the dude Luigi, who, hit up that CEO
Hmm.
in whatever, that whole thing, the healthcare dude. And I just wrote something, a line about it. And it wasn't like celebrating him or like, oh, it's all about him. It was just like, things have gotten to the point in society
Hmm.
where, something like that happens. And really, it was about the reaction of people after it, and
Hmm.
how, at least from my vantage point, and I don't know if it's my algorithm or whatever, but even just the general sentiment, there wasn't like the usual, like, oh my God, this happened, this person had kids and a wife, and sympathy for the dude, which, however you feel about it, is not what I'm talking about in this. What I'm
Right.
basically saying is the sentiment of the people is not about that one incident. It's about people are fed up. People
Hmm.
are tired. People deal with the healthcare system in America and get denied aid or whatever from their insurance companies because it's a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
The title "Delay, Deny, Defend" came from the three words that were on the three bullets, supposedly, of when this thing happened. But it came from a book that talked about the healthcare industry and all the bureaucracy and bullshit and games that they play to basically focus on profit over actually the care that this insurance is supposed to give for people for healthcare.
Hmm.
So I wrote the line down, and it was they shooting bloodsuckers, shit getting realer than a motherfucker. Shots fired from the Hilton out this motherfucker. Bop, bop, bop. Damn, they dropping motherfuckers. Uh, Name on the bullet, three little words on this motherfucker, whatever, right? So I'm basically talking about like it's gotten to this point. It's not about necessarily that. It's just saying it's gotten to this point where the
Right.
people are fed up. And then it kind of took me to the Marie Antoinette thing in France back in the day,
Yeah.
where she was like, and I say it on the second verse, I'm like, let them eat cake. That's what Mary said. Fast forward, guillotine blade off of Mary head. Bitch, you think it's sweet? No, it's sour in the bowels. We in the belly of the beast get swallowed, devoured. And in that joint, I'm basically saying like this callous energy or approach to the poor, to the working class, to all the things that we're dealing with. You see, Trump and all these Elon Musk and all these people that they walk around almost like, yeah, throwing their nose up
Yeah.
at the people. And I'm like, this happened before. You know what I mean? Like this energy's happened before, and heads
Yeah.
will roll type thing. If we can, we get to a certain point, like keep spitting in people's face and listen to the song, you'll get it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's a rocket launcher.
Word up. Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. That's a dope one. Um, Next joint on the album is number 5 is City to City, featuring Logic and Coach Nim, man. That's one of my favorite joints on there, man. That joint is heavy, man. And yeah, talk to me a little about that one. And the brother Logic, man. Where is he from, man? Because shit
Yeah.
sounds dope, man. And Coach Nim's always on point. You already know, but
Um, this record, I didn't go into this album thinking I was gonna have a bunch of collabs, but I tend to have some, different guest appearances. The last album we had a bunch, and I imagined that I was going to get to the point with the album where I, wrote enough, get a solid foundation, and then start inviting a bunch of artists. But as I was getting towards the end of it, I was like, I just kind of want to wrap it up, but I do want to get certain people. Coach Nim, that's my brother. He's been
mhm.
on every System No Work project. We worked on stuff with ALX. We worked on stuff even with
Yeah,
Weekend Money when I was doing that. And I always hit Nim up and be like, yo,
for
Nim, I need
sure,
a verse. And he always shows up with that fire. Like he always,
for sure.
we have a running joke. I'm like, every time you jump on the track, you murk me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's up?
Yeah,
But
man. And y'all
he
had dropped
blessed
a video too not too long ago that was super dope, man. With Coach
illegal
Nim.
business.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That shit's fire.
Yeah, nah. He basically, them always blesses us with the track. My brother from the BX, my RBG brother,
Word.
and he blessed it. Logic is a MC that I've known about for years and admired, what he does, his politic, what he, his whole approach
Hmm.
to this art. He's from Brixton. He's from London. He's from
Okay, yeah,
Brixton.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, when I was out there, I actually pulled up on him in his hood, and
Mm,
he was having a barbecue with a bunch of MCs, and we all
man.
got the build or whatever.
Shout
And
out
I
to
was like,
Brixton, man. Shout out to Brixton, man. I got one of my cousins from Cuba is out there, man. He's London, man. Brixton is a dope place, man.
Brixton is fire,
Yeah,
bro.
I love Brixton, man.
Like I was all over like I was moving around everywhere in Brixton,
Shit.
and it's just great energy. You know what I mean?
Word,
Shout out
word.
to my brother MC Solomon also, who
Yeah,
had me
yeah.
moving around out there. But
But yeah,
Logic,
keep going.
I told him I wanted to get him on the record.
Mm,
He was like, "Of course, you know what it is." He was on the last album, "The Price of Bread,"
mm.
with this joint, "Dollar to the Fire." It was like a posse cut.
Yeah.
Him, Mike Flo, Blade, Ruckus, and Antoine from out
Yeah,
here.
I remember that joint. True, true, true. That's fine.
So he was on that record. So now he's in the fold. We're actually planning on working on a the System Don't Work record with Logic. Jay sent them a bunch of beats, and I think they building on making that happen. But
Word.
Logic I basically the assignment for City to City was I wrote about basically what it is growing up in Philly as a kid, like what we dealing with, or um, our oppression is not unique to where we're from,
Mm,
but there's unique aspects to where how oppression manifests itself in
for
Philly,
sure. Yeah.
in the Bronx, in Brixton,
Yeah.
in Miami, in Paris, in whatever. Like,
Hmm.
so I basically just kept it simple. I did a voice recording on my phone. Like, oh, I had the beat, and I said the first part of my verse, and I sent it to Logic, sent it to them, and I was like, just talk about how real shit is where you from. Talk
Yeah.
about, you coming up as a kid or just what's going on right now. And they knew the assignment and they ran with it and they
Yeah.
blessed it. And it's also one of my favorite joints. It's also
Yeah.
one of the last joints that we did too on this project. City to
Yeah.
City.
Yeah, that's a super dope joint, man. So after that, we got TSDW, the system don't work mantra.
Yes. This joint was it's the chant. It's like I've done it at shows and I felt like, every movement, every, outfit, every battalion, if you will, got their like marching song type
Uh-huh,
thing.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
And that's what this is. I wrote this joint for the last album and it was actually it was on the cutting floor of the last album. It was
Right.
supposed to be on The Price of Bread. And what happened was the length of vinyls, at least the ones that we were getting was 48 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And I remember the album was done. It was on the album, and then Baby J hits me, from the UK because we get it produced in Europe, the final albums. He was like, got some good news, got some bad news. I forget what the good news was because the bad news was he was like, we have to cut time on the album
Damn.
and a lot of time. And we he was like, we might have to lose a song. And I was like, damn, all right, fuck. Okay. So we cut down some of the songs, cut some of the ends off certain songs, and then he was like, if we get rid of TSDW mantra, we'll be good. And I begrudgingly was just like, nah, man, we need that joint because it's like the mantra, it's a mantra. Uh, the system don't work. We work though. Try and wipe
Yeah.
us off the map. We won't go. Where there's people, there's power. They could try to kill us off, but we the children of the sun. We gonna grow. Like it needed to be on the album.
That's
You know what
right.
I
Yeah,
mean? I
yeah.
wanted it on the album, but we didn't make it, so we put it on this one, or we held it. And basically, this song is basically like it's the battle cry. It's
I
the
love it.
motivation. It's the letting people know what's up. Like
Word up.
short and sweet. It was dope. It was dope.
Yeah, for
So
sure, man.
that's what came with that one.
That's six. Number seven,
Uh,
another anthem, man. There's more of us than them. Featuring Galliano.
yes.
Yes.
So this joint right here, there's more of us than them. It was, I think, the title to the album. As soon as we came up with, oh, this is what we're gonna go with, I decided to. I just wanted to write a song, like a title song.
Yeah.
So I got the beat. It was part of the batch that came with Election in the Trap and another record. And I just, zoned out to it. It's a different energy than a lot of the other songs on the album. It's more like somber, not even somber. Somber is not a word. It has a uplifting energy to it, a little bit more joy. It's not as dark. It's like vocal samples in it, all that. And I just was
Yeah.
feeling it. And I wanted to write a song that talked about the possibility of us winning, of us actually achieving freedom,
Yeah.
liberation, and
Yeah.
how possible it is. Almost like more optimistic energy.
Love it.
Um, I tend to go dark. I tend to talk about, I don't know why I do this, but I tend to talk about the pain in what we're going through and all that. And I was like, let me step away from that and challenge myself to write something that's like hopeful,
Yeah.
if you will. And the first lines are the people united will never be defeated. Division been the main impediment, main ingredient to us not succeeding from freeing up from the beast and shit. Like a zenith, I could see the shit, but also I could see the shift. Real sisters up in leadership. Real niggas with the shits. Down for the realest shit. Straight gorilla shit. Gorillas in the mist. Wretched of the earth on my reading list. We in
Yeah.
the crosshairs like the logo, PE and shit. Rebel with the pause on repeating shit. I got so much trouble on my mind, but now I'm Chuck D and shit. I refuse to lose, to lose, to lose. And that refuse to lose part is what, like, it's that. It's like, listen to this and be inspired that we can do this. You know what I mean? Be
Word up.
inspired that, it's not an insurmountable task for us to get there. It's just the people united will never be defeated. Like the chant in mad protest, like that's a real thing. And
Dope.
Galliano,
Yeah.
dope artist. She's a singer,
Mm-hmm.
Colombian born singer
Mm-hmm.
that lives here in Miami. And we
Okay.
linked up in the last year through one of my peoples that I work with sometimes here, Motive
Yeah.
Yapes. They were working together and she has a certain tonality to her voice that I think, works for hip hop. and also
Yeah.
just in general, she has her own project. Check her out, Galliano. That's Galeano. And what captured me about her energy was her passion for basically like speaking truth to power and seeing what's going on out here. And the few conversations we had, she's like, "Yo, Ness, I love the fact that you have the courage to like talk about these things, and it's super important." And she'll be like sending me different things that she'll see on the gram. Like, you see what's happening over here with ICE, or you see
Mm,
what's happening. She'd be mad hype with it,
mm,
and I was just like, all right, we gonna work.
yeah.
Like the music side is important, but also your politic and your passion for the people is super important. So we linked it
Word
up
up.
on this, and she blessed it. Like she
Yeah.
blessed it. I initially wrote the singing part that she did. And I imagine, I'm doing it, and I have like a singer in the background, like kind of making it sound sweeter and better and more like singing, but she blessed
Yeah.
it. And Jay was
Definitely.
like, we're gonna push her to the front. So shout out to Galliano.
Word up, man. There's more of us than them. That was the perfect, title track, man. It was amazing. All right, then. Then we go to number 8, which is Palestine. And then obviously that's a relevant track with where we at today, man. Going through this genocide. We're seeing it live on our phones every day. We're seeing now just recently all up in our face, the I don't even want to say her name, man. The individual that just won the Nobel Peace Prize, man, is openly supporting the genocide, supporting Israel. And it's just really like a lot of nasty shit like that, Zionism all out that we're living, man. We're living in these open times. So a track like that is very much needed, man.
Yeah, man. I get pissed off, you know what I mean? Like even with, you talking about it, like I'm just thinking like the absurdity of what's happening, out there, in Palestine, in Gaza.
Mm.
It's just absurd. It's
Yeah.
absurd. Like there's not, you can talk to you blue in the face about the
Word.
atrocities and all that, but it's just like, bro, like we see it. Like everyone sees what's happening out in Palestine. Like everybody, like people talk about things, atrocities, and crazy things have happened in the past, like before our time, type thing, and the whole thing, like, yo, if I was there, like, I don't know how that went down and all that shit. I'm like, it's happening right now, like literally in real time,
Word up.
on your phone, on the TV, blatantly. And I think this moment in time is a pivotal time. And it's a shame that so many lives were sacrificed, so many deaths has happened, so many, so many kids, like that whole shit is just like crazy. And I think that sadly something good is gonna come out of this. And it's hard to say that because, like on an individual level, like I got Palestinian homies, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like people that I rock with forever, like that, have lost family members, have lost friends that are getting the calls and all that. And it's just like, it's hard to, look at it as anything more than this has to be a turning point. Like for the world to watch this happen and it's continuing, like people can see the devil for what
Yeah.
they are. You know what I mean? Like I said it in the song. Like bombs over Baghdad, bombs over Gaza. Talking about terrorism, is it an ironic different war? Same goals, yeah, money, land, power. Devils trying to play victim, killing children by the hour. Is it raining? Is it raining? Yeah, it's a missile shower. There's a storm in the 90s, now we in the 2000s. 9/11 war on terror over World Trade Towers, now CNN murder porn 24 hours.
Mm.
They was looking for Osama, now they looking for Hamas. On some anybody get it, like they shooting up the block, killing everything in sight on anybody block, killing everything in sight on everybody. So long story short, so I said,
Okay.
like we see it. Like y'all see it, everyone sees it. And if we're not sick, if we're not moved by this, then there's something with sociopaths. So
Word
like
up.
I've had different Palestine songs before, or I've talked
Yeah.
about Palestine in songs, but I wanted to write just a joint from my vantage point. Like I'm not trying to be an expert about everything that's happening in Palestine, but as a brother here in the
Hmm.
States, from the hood, from Philly, lived in Brooklyn forever, blah blah blah. Like I'm giving my take on it, and also knowing Palestinian brothers and sisters
Yeah.
and people that resist, that people
Word
been
up.
been on it. Shout out to Existence is Resistance. to my sister, Harabic, Shadi Mansour, people that been on the front lines of this, and that's what that song is for. That
Mhm.
song is for my peoples out there, and our shared oppression. You know what I mean? Our shared struggle, if you
For
will. You know
sure,
what I mean?
yeah,
We're
100%.
connected. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that
As African people, our leaders have always understood that, that we was connected, and they've always, spoken up for Palestine, from Malcolm, to Thomas Sankara, to Huey P, man. They've always, understood the importance of the liberation of the Palestinian people. We're all connected, you know.
like I said in the City to City song, the manifestation of our oppression might, how it manifests itself in different places is unique.
Yeah.
But as far as our oppression, it's connected. Like,
Word. Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
even said that in the second verse. Like,
Yeah.
basically, what's going on in Palestine is what happened here. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And all around the world, in Australia and Africa and blah blah blah. So it's like, free Palestine,
No
and,
doubt.
that's what that's about.
Free Palestina all day, man. And we're seeing, like you said, it's just all out in the open. So we're seeing a lot of youth, starting to see what time it is, and a lot of youth are mobilizing, and and that's a beautiful thing to see the youth, engage. But then the truth is that also the propaganda machine, man, is well-oiled machine, and there's still a lot of people that are still confused, unfortunately, man. You know,
Man, we
um,
got to keep fighting, keep
yeah,
pushing, until we got to keep going. Like
yeah, without a
it's
doubt.
still happening. It's happening, still going. So
Yeah, free Palestine, man, for sure. All right, then we got track number 9, No Rap.
no rap, no rap was another casualty of the cutoff from the last album.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, uh, it's a short track.
yeah.
I even said on the track that this might not
This
end up
might
on
have
the
been
album.
it. I like that track, man. And you know what? It made me think of, I forget what album that was on. It was Nas, man. It made me think. Remember, I think it was my Book of Rhymes where he dropped the track kind of like that, where he had like some rhymes where he had, and he was kind of like reading off from different rhyme books.
Bro, you called me. You know what's crazy? I didn't think of that, but as artists, we taking all stuff
Of
in,
course,
and
of
and
course.
and and a lot of MCs and artists. Period. They're like, yeah, these are all my ideas, and
Nah, come on.
everything's original. Blah blah blah. No idea is original. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Like
yeah. We
like on some
understand that in
basic.
hip hop, man. Hip hop is all about taking one thing and remaking it dope, making it fresh, and reviving it.
Like it was probably in my subconscious somewhere, to be
Yeah,
real, because
yeah.
when you
'Cause-
say that, I remember that track, and I
right?
like the fact that it seemed less like I'm about to do a song, here it
Mm-hmm.
goes,
Mm-hmm.
boom boom. It was just like, let me take you behind the curtain, like,
Word
and
up. I got some
and
rhymes over here.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what that was in real time.
Mm.
Like, it was a joint that was just a verse that was super personal. Like, some of the stuff I write being like almost journal entries,
Mm-hmm.
and it might start off with a line about something I'm going through, and I was going through a lot during the last album. Like, my brother passed away,
Mm.
other homies passed away, and I was just going through it. You know what I mean? And a lot of the stuff you write don't end up on albums. You know what I mean? It's just stuff you
Of
write,
course.
whatever. But I remember hearing the beat, and it's such a lo-fi, sad, like I like sad stuff sometimes. A lot of people don't, but it just sounds like if you listen to the track, it's just like the beat is crying, and it's lo-fi, and it's dirty, and it's just whatever. And I was just going through my phone, looking to see if I had something that could work. Because sometimes I have joints
Right.
or a verse or the beginning of something already. So I heard the beat, um, found that record. I mean that verse, and I say in the beginning of it, it's a very personal record too, like very intimate, like not about the world. It's about what I'm dealing with.
Right.
I go, ask me how I'm doing. I say, okay, that's fake. Roller coaster ride, my emotional state. Either the fake smile or the poker face. If you know me, you could tell by the look of my face, look in my eyes, storm cloud, look at the skies, fire burning inside that could cook up some fries, boiling water, some shit, right? So I'm basically saying, like, I'm suppressing pain out here.
Mm.
Like, you might be like, yo, Ness, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm okay. Ask me how I'm doing. I say, okay, that's fake. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I'm lying. You know what I mean? I'm just, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? My girl, or, at the time, maybe ask me, like, you okay? I'm good. I'm good. But if you know me, you could tell by the look in my eyes. You know what I
Mm,
mean? You know what I mean? You can tell that I'm, but
mm,
only certain people know that. So it was kind of like a joint. I think I was gonna hold it and put it on a record that I want to do about mental health.
right.
I wanted to talk about, like a whole album dealing with mental health type
That's
thing
dope,
and
man.
just like what we're going through. And I got actually a couple other songs in that vein.
Mm,
But the reason why I wanted to put it on this album is I wanted to humanize some of the macro energy of the album. Like I'm talking about a lot of global world things and the big picture. And I just wanted to distill it down to like if this is a movie and you seeing like the protests and bombs and things happening over here in the election year in the trap and all this other stuff. And it's like, let's do a scene where we come home and this person or this character in this film in this story is just going through it.
right,
So it's a lot of macro, micro, my thing like microcosm, the big picture, bringing it in, and this is probably the most laser beam of me personally.
mm,
So that's that track. It's like an interlude almost,
yeah,
but
no rap. Yeah,
it's
it
that.
is, but it's dope. Yeah, yeah, I like it. Number 10, 6 million.
Ah,
Talk about that joint.
6 million is a hard joint. It was a joint that we did between the last project and this project that I did maybe a year and a half ago or something, maybe even longer, maybe yeah, about 2025, maybe sometime in 2023. And the beat is hard.
Yeah,
Jay, was making his shit, and I had it, and I just wanted to write some shit. You know what I mean? Like something I had no plan for it, and I think the chorus came first. 6 million, 6 million, 6 million ways to die. That whole 6 million ways to die. Choose one thing.
yeah.
From a reggae record type thing. I wanted to basically be almost defiant. Like,
Mm,
yeah, there's 6 million ways to die, but not today.
mm,
Like, I'm not dying today.
mm.
So it's almost like spitting in the face of the Grim Reaper. Like, yeah, I know there's many ways I could die, but I'm staying alive. Like, I'm not succumbing to all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But in the beginning, I say, I put my lifetime in between these papers lines. Sometimes I write in my phone, sometimes I write in my mind. In a vision, Stevie Wonder, word picture, take a snapshot. Walk a mile in my shoes through the back blocks. Late 80s, early 90s crack era backdrop. Rap was bubbling, but crack was the cash crop. JBM days, Yay Hawk, catching the trolley. Gerard Ave, front of McDonald's by Richard Allen.
mm,
So I'm talking about once again, I go back into Philly, like growing up in Philly and all that. But the first line, obviously, for those that know, comes from Prodigy.
yeah, yeah,
Prodigy,
yeah, yeah,
rest
yeah.
in peace, Prodigy.
Rest in peace,
Uh,
man.
that line, everybody loves that line.
Yeah,
I
of
put my
course. That's
lifetime in
classic.
between
Yeah.
papers lines. Like what? like, like
Prodigy
that
was
was
ill, man. He was so ill.
yo, bro. Part itself, like, bro. That new Mobb album just came out, and
Oh
I
man.
just
Hold on. Let's get into that at the end, man. We talk about it a little bit, man.
no doubt we gonna definitely get into that.
Yeah, yeah, let's get into that.
But just listening to Prodigy, Prodigy's my, probably my favorite MC.
Oh man,
Nas and
listen.
Prodigy. You
Wow,
know, I've said it enough times. I'm a super Mobb Deep
man.
fan. Like I love their whole energy of what they, came with. But as far as like,
And I'm a super Mobb Deep fan as well.
you know what I mean? Like Mobb always like Mobb can spit. They be rapping. They be saying some stuff, but you're not thinking that they rappers while they doing it because it's just such a conversational,
Yeah,
real like,
it is.
tone. And as a young brother coming up, like,
It hits.
my, you know what I mean?
The
That
mob
was like
hits, man. The mob is like, yo, you know what I'm
that
saying?
those are the icons in my brain as I was creating my own style or whatever.
Word up.
That whatever.
Yeah,
And
man.
Prodigy specifically, he just has such amazing one liners, first liners, all
Mm-hmm.
that ways. I put my lifetime in between his papers lines. Yeah, I'm gonna borrow that, brother.
For
Salute to
sure.
you.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? Salute to Prodigy. Like, and I
Word up.
also put my lifetime in between these papers lines. But sometimes I write in my phone. Sometimes I write in my mind. You know what I mean? In the vision, Stevie Wonder, word picture, take a snapshot. Walk a mile in my shoes through the back blocks. Like
Mm.
in the vision, Stevie Wonder. That's his one of his I guess one of his albums. Stevie Wonder be having in the vision, so I do too, and I be thinking about my life. So it's just that, like, if you listen to it, I'm just basically going through memory lane a little bit, but also bringing it to right now. And it's just a hard joint. Love that joint. You know what I mean? Love that joint. A lot of people been hitting me up. They're like, "Yo, 6 million? Y'all want to jump on that?" I'm like, All right, I might have a posse cut remix to that joint. Like Mad MCs
Word.
hit me up. I want to jump on that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right. Inner Visions. Stevie Wonder.
And
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
all right.
1973.
Okay, good, 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 good. I was
Studio
like,
studio album. Yep, yep.
yeah. Now Stevie Wonder is, one
Oh,
of the
he's a goat,
greatest.
man, for sure.
He's a goat. Like if
Yeah.
no matter what age you are, if you wasn't, whatever, like
Hmm.
listen to Stevie Wonder and learn about music, learn about black music, learn about that shit.
Word
So
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
Stevie.
yeah. That's necessary. So after that, we got number 11. We got that's one of my favorite joints as well. Carhartt Bomber.
Ah,
I love that.
yo, Jay didn't even want that joint on the album. Jay
Word.
gonna watch this.
I love this
Jay gonna,
joint, man.
Jay gonna watch this and be like, damn, put me on Front Street.
I love this
Um,
joint, man.
I love that joint, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to rap. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to write a story. I didn't want to like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be on the block spitting some shit. And I wanted to do a combination of just spit some bars, from my point of view, my worldview, my politic type shit, but really just spit some bars. But also, when I did the first few lines, I almost want to do a commercial for the clothing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Word up,
You know
man.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like imagine like we got this and the Carhartt bomber comes on type shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, the
Word.
new truck is going hard, by the way. The new
Yeah,
truck
they
is
look those look beautiful, man.
like, you know what I mean? Like I'm
Them
super,
hats.
super happy. But I wanted to write like a system don't work clothing commercial slash to spit some bars. Carhartt bomber, like we print on a lot of repurposed, pieces, and I had a Carhartt bomber
Uh-huh.
that we used and we printed the system don't work on it. So I'm like, Carhartt bomber, army green olive, system don't work, puff print on the garment, 40 below's tied up. African medallion. Catch me hopping out the Audi with my brown skin stallion. I'll be mobbing in my workwear, dripping in the spill. Military issue, literally dressed to kill. Get it? Dressed to yeah. Uniform for all my good gorillas in the field.
Word up.
Like dress to kill on some like people like dress to kill. Like no, nigga, we wearing military shit,
Right.
bro. Like
Militant.
we ready. Like shit
Yeah.
go down. You know what I mean? Our blouse ain't gonna rip. No, no disrespect to blouses. But this
Word.
material this shit is made for war. So that's what
Mhm.
I was trying to just
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Carl Bobby.
that's dope, man. That's a dope track. The beat is crazy.
Yo, CJ, I told you we
Yeah,
needed
yeah,
it.
man. That joint
I
is
need
fire, Jay.
we needed to just have a rap. We just need to have some raps. And we got a project coming out. I say it here, fuck it. Nobody I haven't said it to nobody else. Gorilla Raps Volume 1.
Mm,
It's gonna be bars. It's gonna be
okay.
bars. And I'm calling all my MCs that got that revolutionary fire, that working class art, that fucking street. Like,
Mm,
I don't want to hear about popping bottles on this joint. I don't want to hear
word.
about, what I mean, the glamorization shit. I want to hear that shit, but it's bars. So
Word up.
that's gonna be fun. There's gonna be a lot of collabs on that because I'm gonna write a verse and be like, yo, what you got for this? What you got for this? I'm trying to. So that's probably coming next. But
Okay.
this one, if Jay forced me to cut it, it was gonna end up on that.
Okay, okay. Nah, but that's a dope one to have on there, man. For sure. All right, number 12. We got
Um,
Nigga Power.
nigga,
Nigga.
never ignorant getting goals accomplished. Never ignorant getting goals accomplished.
Mm,
Like Tupac said.
yep.
Um, nigga power. Nigga power was one. Um, I'm bringing people behind the curtain of just the
Yeah.
processes or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
this was
that's
another
beautiful,
one.
man. You know what? Because now when I go back, man, and listen again, I'm gonna have a different ear too, because I heard you breaking it down, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm gonna relate to certain things even more and be like, okay, this is that. So yeah, I appreciate that, man. That's dope.
This is another one we had in the stash.
Mm,
Like we had this in the stash. Like a lot of the newer joints are towards the front of the album, and we got some new joints that didn't make this album that's gonna go maybe on the next one.
yeah.
It's just I think of the album, the album title, and sometimes certain joints fit better in certain projects. But Nigga Power was a joint. I wrote it between the first project me and Jay did in this new series called 21st Century Blues and Price of Bread. So it might be technically the oldest track or whatever, or the track that I wrote
Okay. Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
longest time ago.
Yeah.
And the beat, first and foremost, let's talk about the title,
Mm,
Nigga Power. It's two meanings. One, I wanted to, kind of approach the whole the word being used debate thing within our
Yeah.
community. We talk about like nigga,
Yeah, that's
like should
endless
we be,
debate. Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Should we be saying it? Should we not be saying it? All this other shit. And
Yeah.
nigga power is basically like uh Tribe Called Quest had a song called Suckin' Niggas. Other MCs and have approached this. It's almost like a '90s thing that was real big of like, you got NWA and different things.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to talk about that conversation once again. You know what I mean? I wanted to talk about that.
Bring that up. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Nigga say it 3 times for effect. Uh, Whatever the fuck I said in that shit, I forgot. Nigga say it 3 times for effect. Something, no disrespect. I just wanted to talk about it, and I talk about how comedians, say nigga, and it's in songs, and it's what it's part of our language, part of our
It is. Yeah,
conversations.
yeah, yeah.
So that's what the first verse is about. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? It's like dealing with that whole conversation, but more the initial title was kind of like when we say Black Power, right? We're thinking about Black people as a whole. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And then there's a certain beauty and elegance to that. But I was like, sometimes within that, especially within the educated, intellectual people's, you know, crowd or scene or whatever, it's
Yeah.
almost like we forget the street niggas. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We
Mhm.
forget the cats on the street. It's almost like some talented tenth, like yeah, not I don't say talented tenth because Black Power is not connected to that. That's some other shit. But
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of like saying nigga power. Like yeah, the power of the cats that's out here that's caught up that might not even have class consciousness.
yeah.
You know what
Right,
I
right,
mean?
right, right.
Like what if niggas, that's on the block that these, that understood like we all connected, like, we the powers that be and those, that we oppose and will be like, oh shit, them dudes is locked in. So
Mm.
it's kind of like how the Panthers, they was trying to connect with the hood. They had the
Word up.
pool room, and then they had, Berkeley or whatever, and they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to connect with the niggas,
Mm.
and that's what that song is basically about. And then
Dope.
the beat sound like some like early '80s or '80s classic hip hop Rick Rubin stuff.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
cowbells and shit. And when Jay made it, I was like, okay, this is where I'm gonna go with it. And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a little up tempo and it's hard. We did a video for it out in the UK. We actually never released fully the video. We
Yeah, I
released
know. I
clips.
saw there's a piece of it on IG, but I didn't find the entire video. So yeah, that's why you
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
Now the video's coming. I just
Okay.
we're gonna be releasing videos throughout the rollout of the album.
Dope, dope, dope.
Yeah, Nigga Power is some shit. I remember this is a fun fact, right? And this probably in my subconscious when I came up with the title. So on Dead Prez's Let's Get Free,
Mm-hmm.
the song I don't want no be no movie star.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to drive no fancy car. I forget the title of that joint, but I remember when brothers was working on that joint, and cats, obviously, people, homies, and cats that was around know this shit because
Mm-hmm.
recently, so Dead Prez is on tour right now,
Word,
25th
man. Shout
anniversary
out
of
Dead
Let's Get
Prez.
Free.
And M1 is breaking down the album, man. He's doing lives on his IG breaking down the album. I'll be checking those out, man.
Nah, I'm so glad that M is doing that. It's
Yeah,
important, man.
it's
Like to
necessary.
have, what I mean, to see, these conversations or to, talk about things in this way. But
Mm,
and during the show, so they're doing the 25th anniversary of Let's Get Free,
mm,
and the first stop was in Brooklyn a few weeks back. Pulled up, it was like a mini family reunion. You know what I mean? See a lot of the homies. We live all in different cities. Now a lot of us.
right.
We got a bunch of homies still in New York, but M is where M is. I let the brothers talk about where
M,
they at.
well, yeah, yeah, yeah. M is in the motherland, man.
Yeah,
We
M is
see
in the
that.
continent.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, which is like our dream. Like it's
yeah,
the
word up.
dream, and like he's living the dream. And
That's
salute
beautiful. Yeah,
to M
salute
and his
with his
family.
family. Yeah, word up. That's beautiful.
Stick, ATL, and just people have, we be everywhere. So when we link up now, after long time, like it's like a family reunion type thing. It was just good seeing the homies. But the reason why I'm talking about this with Nigga Power, right? So we're doing well, we're on stage, they're doing the record, doing the different records, and anybody that was there knows that the first version of that song, when Stick comes in and he's talking about, he's like, yeah, our lives fucked up. We want control of our own
Mm,
lives. And, I got my niggas. He goes,
yep.
he goes, he said some shit in the beginning. He said, but you know, I ain't worried basically because I got my niggas.
Yeah.
And in the original, when we recorded it, you know, when homies recorded in the studio, he goes, "I got my niggas, and we got nigga power," right?
Oh, word. Okay.
But somehow in the mixing down, maybe Loud Records was on some
Yeah.
shit. Maybe brothers themselves was like, "Do we want to actually say that?" Like I don't remember what the editing
Right, right.
decision was about. But in my head, every
You
time
was
I hear
like,
that,
you think about
every
that,
time
yeah.
I think because I thought it was basically like a perfect sentiment. Like,
Mm,
yeah, our lives fucked up. You know, we go through all this shit all our lives, but we basically gonna get freedom. You know, I got my niggas and we got nigga power. Like I got the people in my community, the homies that I know for real around me, not just these big revolutionary leaders or cats that have a certain level of education. Like, you
word,
know, yeah. So salute the stick, salute
word.
the M1, salute to all my people, Army, RBG comrades, Coach Nim, Divine, Umi, D-Don, Tahir, Abu, you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Just everybody that we rock with. Mike Flo,
Word up,
just
man. Shout out Mike
it's
Flow.
I mean, salute the comrades, man. Like we've been doing this a long time. And the journey, just seeing the journey of brothers throughout the years is a beautiful thing to see. And as we were sitting on stage in Brooklyn
Hmm.
for the Let's Get Free show, it
Hmm.
was it's like a proud moment, but it's also like, just nostalgic. Obviously, there's a bunch of other people I didn't mention that's just part of this.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, man, like doing music that means something that is beyond just entertainment, I think resonates in a different way. And also, I think you just feel a certain connection to it for an album
Hmm.
to still resonate 25 years later and still
That's right.
speak to what we're dealing with now.
That's right.
Um, when I think about us all together in the studio making it, different lines like, "Oh, what you think about this, Nurse? What you think about this?" Nim, Bob, and all that, and it's real. Like when
Yeah.
people say, "Oh, we keep it real," like this is really
Yeah,
real. Like
this
brothers,
is it, right? Without a
been
doubt.
been building, been building, been building.
Word up, man. All right. So,
Last song,
yeah, last song, man. Track 13, 3 a.m. in Little Haiti. That's the
we
outro, man.
I love that title. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Talk
like
about that, man.
Like you got the timestamp joints that what Drake was doing 2 a.m. in Houston, all that. So that's that title came from that.
Mm.
Not to say came from that, but it was part
Right,
of it.
right.
It was 3 a.m. It was actually like I don't know 3:20 or something. Because when I write in my notes sometimes, and I try to do this just so I can remember where I was at, or just the whatever I put the date and then sometimes the exact time when I
Right, right.
start writing the joint. And once this is another one of the last tracks of the song. I actually think this might be the last. Yeah, this was actually the last song we did.
Mm.
Cyrus we did before this one, but 3 a.m. Lil Haiti. Jay had a bunch of like skeleton beats that he didn't even. He was like, "Yo, these are joints I made on the MPC because he had access to an MPC.
Okay.
He does his production on different things, but he doesn't normally work on the MPC. If I'm correct, Jay can correct me, but
Mm.
I know the beat was called MPC Theme, and then there was another beat called MPC something else. But it was skeletons, and he was like, "Yo, there's just some stuff that I chopped up. I had some samples." And I was chopping it up. And it's not a done track, but like, let me know if you like any of this so I could develop it more. And I remember I was in the UK. We were doing some shows out there a few months back, and I hadn't listened to it. Like I had been busy, so I hadn't listened to this pack of skeleton beats. But I remember we was driving from one city to another,
Hmm.
and Jace, has got this dope car or whatever. But we was riding on the M1, the road, one of the main roads in the UK,
Hmm.
and we put it on, and I liked the energy of those beats. They were sparser. I mean, they weren't full done beats. Like I don't even know if Jay put drums to that shit. Like it was just
Mm.
like whatever, and I liked it, and I was just like, yo, this shit is dope. But I put
Hmm.
it in the back of my mind, and then I remember one of my peoples that I know through just the scene or just Brooklyn or some shit. Coach Bombay manages Rome Streets. He had put up something on Instagram like, "Yo, looking for beats," and no, I don't want no, I forget what he said, but he like put a thing on story like I'm looking for beats, but don't give me no bullshit or just some shit. And I hit him on DM. I was like, yo, I think I might have some tracks for you that you might like type shit. And I told Jay, yo, let's make, let me send a pack of beats to the homie for Rome Streets. And I remember when I was listening to it because he sent it to me, and I was like, about to send it to him.
Mm.
I remember being like, damn, but I kind of want this one. I was like, this
Word.
joint. I sent it anyway. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I still sent the beats, but I was just like, I had like a little fire under me to like get it done before he heard it and was like, I want this beat.
Uh.
I forget what exactly happened with that, but long story short, locked in on that beat.
Mhm.
And Nigga Power was supposed to be the last song on the album.
Mm.
And we were looking for an outro sample, some kind of movie, something from
Yeah.
something, a documentary or something to end the album. And we couldn't find one that I really liked. And Jay was like, look, don't even rush it. Don't force it. Because I gave him a couple things. He said, I don't think this matches. Just do an outro. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll do an outro.
Mm.
And being that the album was done, I felt like, let me make this final statement on what There's More of Us than Them is about. And I think it's a good final statement. Like,
Mm-hmm.
being as the last one, I don't even know if I remember. There's more of us than them. Gorilla versus 100 men. Something like the elephant conquered by a billion ants. By a billion ants. Do the math. This ain't calculus. Simple
Mm.
math, maybe algebra. 8 billion niggas, 1%. Billionaires got no love for us. Feelings mutual. We got no love for them. Same thing goes for the government.
Mm.
Mayor, governor, the president. They ain't above the people. We run the shit. We got the numbers. It's whatever the fuck I said, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
basically, what I'm saying in the joint is like, let me hammer it home for the fifth, sixth time on this album. Like, we got the numbers. If we only knew our power, if we can link this up, we can be
Mm-hmm.
free today, like
Mm.
right now. And it's a
Mm.
soulful joint. It's mellow. It sounds, it's not bombastic, none of that. But I really like the rhymes. Like once I like
Yeah.
get this on cap, like really, like I'm in show mode now. Like I'm starting to get the
Word.
show set together so we can start touring and start doing shows, whatever.
Mm.
It's a joint that I'll probably do. I'll probably do it a cappella, like
Mm.
before, like right after the song, and I just probably
Mm-hmm.
like the song cut off, and I'll be like, "There's more of us than them." Gorilla versus 100 men, something like the elephant conquered by a billion ants. Do the math and then blah 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 blah.
Mm.
Because there's like a little double time, little bounce to it,
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah, yeah.
and then let the track come in. But that thing that was going around the internet, a few months back, well, what would happen between a hundred men and one gorilla?
Oh,
And
girl.
you see all the different people, talking about, oh, the gorilla kill everybody, and it's a good example. It's like the only way 100 men could probably knock out, take a gorilla down is if they work together. You know what I mean?
They communicate and
Individually,
work together. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like individually coming in, like you gonna get he gonna systematically kill
Yeah.
all 100 of y'all, you know what I mean? Or kill four of y'all, whatever. Like you literally gotta be like, all right, what we gonna do is we gonna go over here. And maybe some of us might get, might not make it, but if he's over here and we catch him in the back, blah blah blah. So it's the same thing as the tagline that People Army have used, since the beginning, which is the ants will conquer the elephant.
Yep. Together
Okay.
the ants conquer the elephant. That's right.
Together, the ants will conquer the elephant. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that record is about. And, it's just like after the journey of the album, we get here and I give you the final statement and then we off to the next project, Gorilla Rap Volume 1.
Word
But
up.
yeah, so that's the space, that's the energy. And
Yeah.
it's a journey, the way you sequence songs on the album, you wanna, have an arc and all this other shit. And
Yeah.
I love doing it. I think I'm pretty good at it, but I think
For sure.
it brings the album together. And super proud of that one too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. Salute to you, man. I know it's always, me and my crew also, as an artist, every time I get done with an album and it comes out, it's a good feeling, man, because it's a lot of work, a lot of feelings, vibes, all of that, man. And able to share that with the world and contribute also when it's us, it's also work for the movement, you know what I mean? And as far as that, it's key. But this one is definitely one that I recommend. Make sure you go support, you know what I'm saying? Go buy it. All the links are down in the description. It's an album that you can go through the whole thing, no skip, just kind of plays smoothly, man. And
Thank you.
if you a hip hop head like myself, you're gonna love it for sure. Um, I know that you talked about a few, but if you had to say one or two favorite tracks, which ones are those for you?
Um, Cyrus off the rip. I think
First one,
also,
yeah. It's
you
fire.
know what I mean, on some hip hop shit. Like sometimes, you writing, you just writing. At least myself, you just writing to get your thoughts out, your feelings out, and
Mm,
you're not necessarily thinking like, yo, I'm trying to, every track needs to be a banger type thing. But I do think that sometimes, you know what I mean, when you distill it down, you know what I mean, there's certain joints that just hit you, and Cyrus is that. So Cyrus, I think, is one that right now is one of my joints. I've been riding around to it, and
mm.
I'm in my little Audi truck and shit, and I'm moving around, and the shit is on, and I'm just feeling that feeling
Word,
like, yo, I'm live nigga shit, like we moving
word up.
around, So I like
Yeah,
that track. Um, Capitalism is another one that
yeah, that's a
I
banger.
think is personal, it's hypnotic, it's classic East
It is.
Coast,
Yeah, yeah,
shit. So that one, sticks out.
that's a banger.
Um, Delay the Not Defend was one of my joints for a minute because it had that same similar to Cyrus, just like a banger type thing, but it's just crazy. So I would definitely
It
put
is.
Delay the Not Defend. I
Mm,
think Palestine is one that is, was real. I was very emotional writing it.
mm.
I actually wrote it on the plane. The first verse I wrote it on the plane from the UK here
Okay.
because me and Jay talked about it, and he was like, "Yo, I think it needs to be on this album. Like, let's not wait. Like, let's do it." So I don't know how long the flight is, but it's long as shit. And I'm sitting on there, and I'm wired from the whole trip, and I'm like, "Let me write it."
Yeah.
And that
Probably
was
like
super important.
8, 10 hours, right?
Something long enough to get like a verse done, two naps in. I read a few chapters in a book. Like I remember doing that joint. I didn't mention it before. My sister Galliano, who was on There's More of Us Than Them,
Yeah.
she's not on the Spotify. She's not. There's not a credit because she sung like these background vocals that are all over the track. The boom, boom, boom,
Mm.
boom, 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 and she's basically singing bomb, 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 like,
Uh, uh,
but in
uh.
a ethereal, like the angels are singing bomb.
Right.
Initially, the title for the joint was going to be Fallen Angels
Mm,
because I was just playing with like words and being poetic and like, the fallen angel in the Bible was the devil. You know
mm,
what I mean? And it's like, yeah, we talking about them devils doing that shit, but also how like bombs from out the sky is kind of like fallen angels. So it's a
absolutely.
little poetic and all that. And I remember Jay was like, "That's cute, like to go poetry, but I think we need to just say what this shit is about, like
Mm,
either Palestine or free Palestine. Like, what you thinking?" And I was like, "You know what? I hear you. Like, fallen angels might not come across like what I'm trying to say." So it became Palestine, but bomb bomb bombs is what she's singing,
mm.
and she's singing it in a way that she sung it on a part of the song, and we heard it. We was like, "Yo, we need that basically as
Throughout.
an
Yeah.
accompaniment to the beat,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever." So
Word.
Palestine is another joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
3 a.m.
it
in
just
Little Haiti. I like
it,
I like when 3 a.m. in Little Haiti comes on. I tend to repeat that one because it's just super casual, and I was spitting some bars, so I was feeling that one. So
yeah.
those joints would probably stick out.
Mm, mm, mm. No doubt, man. Dope work, man. Dope work.
Thank you.
I love the other album as well. The one just, The Price of Bread was dope as well. Now you got this one. Salute, man. Salute. Good work and
Thank you, bro. We
shout
working,
out,
man.
man.
The system don't work. We work though. You know what I mean? Like
That's right.
we cranking out more. Like there's gonna be, and things are gonna start coming a little faster. Like between projects, we probably put like a year and change in between projects. And ideally, I'd like to just,
Yeah.
especially Jay be like, "Yo, we gotta push, we gotta
Gotta
drop
get to
more."
it. Yeah.
But life happens and all that. But right now, I got a bunch of records in the stash, and also, like I said, I'm gonna be. You might get like a little EP, a 5 song thing, a 7 song thing. So
Right.
all of that, like we gonna stay tuned. We got more coming. We got a bunch of videos coming out. We got a video right now that I'm working on with my one homie Ibrahim Sociopath
Okay.
Bike. That's fire. Like I'm editing it right now, and I was just
Nice.
like, "Yo, we gonna get banned when this shit come out." Like some crazy imagery in that. So
Word.
videos are coming. Shows are coming to a city near you if you're trying
Mm.
to like link or you got a show that this type of stuff what we come with matches. Like let's build because definitely want to move around and connect with the people in real time. And obviously, we got the clothes system don't
No doubt.
work.
Yeah.
The garments, we got the puff
Yeah,
prints, the new.
show me some of that the new collection. Yeah, I see those. Those
Yeah,
are
I
super
mean, you got the
beautiful.
new colorway.
That's straight up on the systemdon'twork.com. That's where people can
Yeah,
get it. Yeah.
yeah. We have some of these pieces like haven't even been put up. Some of these are more in stores
Okay.
out here, but like I showed y'all earlier, well,
Yeah.
you got the big bro in the back looking
Right.
at you like, you know what I mean? Like bow, like,
Talk
you
to
know
me
what I
about
mean?
that, man. Where'd you get that from yeah, that imagery.
So this we've named this face bro. And
Mm.
it's, technically our unofficial logo, but the whole thing as an artist, you try to, you got different ideas and worlds that you build. The book 1984, George Orwell, you got Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
So Big Brother, and I don't know if we talked about this before, but Big Brother is kind of like an omnipresent figure that represents the government,
Yeah.
totalitarian,
Yeah. Big
bow,
brother's
like
watching you. Yeah,
Big Brother's
yeah.
watching you, right? Well, in line with what we on was like, yeah, well, you know what? We watching you too. You know what I
Mm.
mean? And it's a youth. Like
Word
this
up.
this came from a picture of a youth that we posterized and we manipulated so that, it's not the exact thing. We changed it,
I
whatever.
love that.
But
I love
the
that.
whole the
That's
whole
fine.
idea is bro is like the little brother, you know what I mean? But it's the people. It's like
Yeah.
Miles said, the youth will take over. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones that's gonna take the mantle. So the same way that they got Big Brother looking at us down, like thought crime and group think and all that other shit. You know what I mean? This is like a youth, the leader of the youth or one of the youth that's like, fuck this shit. We're gonna take this shit over.
Yeah.
You know what I
Like
mean?
we
So
here. Like what's
we
good?
yeah,
We
like don't
watching you too, motherfucker.
exactly.
Yeah.
Basically, you got these pieces like this. You got the this actually supposed to
That's
be
fire.
like the dope puff print. It's actually black, but the process of making puff print it lightens up the color. And
Mm-hmm.
then on a distressed black shirt, it tends to almost look like it's part of the shirt, and
Yeah.
it's fire.
Yeah, it's
Like
fire, man.
the quality on these joints, bro. They're like
Yeah.
14-ounce thick joints, like real. Like
Yeah, man. I'm
I'm
gonna holler
serious
at
about
you, man. I'm gonna holler at you, man. You know, I'm
serious
gonna holler.
about this.
And yo, we working on something with Black Power Media, man. We working on something, and we'd love to have you also be a part of that, man. You know, we're working on a mixtape right now.
I'm front and center,
Okay.
brother. You got
Okay.
me. You got me right
For
here.
sure. Appreciate that,
Sure.
man. We're gonna make it happen.
Yes, yes.
Word up. Yeah, so before I let you go, man, we both, Mobb Deep fans, man. Let's rap a little bit about the new joint, man. Cause it had me
Oh,
hype. Yo, all I'm playing right now, you know what I'm saying, is your joint, you know what I'm saying? It's more of us and them and the Mobb Deep, man. It's just over and over in my headphones all day, man. So
respect, bro. Like, yo, I'm glad you didn't forget because I was like, if you ain't remember, I was gonna be like, yo, let's talk about the mob shit, bro.
word up.
Like, yo, I don't know how many times, like, I'm like the unofficial publicist slash advocate slash whatever. I've been debating Cash for years that the Infamous was the best album ever in hip hop.
That shit is fire.
And whether it's the best or your second best or not on the
It's in
top
there
10,
though. It's in there.
it's
It has to be,
it's
yeah.
in there. It's my favorite project. It's
Mm.
something that when I heard it, it just shifted everything for me and just it's a beautiful like peek into the life of
Yeah.
I'm only 19, but my mind was older. Like I was like, I was 16.
Have is a genius with the instrumentals, bro.
And Have is one of the most underrated producers ever. Like he had a
For
sound that was
sure.
very New York, like
Yes.
Shook Ones and
Yes.
all that shit. Like was a special moment.
Yo,
And I
when
was
I hear those, man, this shit, it's just something that lights up in me, man. It just gets me so fucking hyped, man. It makes me think of what gave me the love for the culture. I don't know what it is. It just puts me in that mood, man. And it was also like throughout when I was hooping, that was my go-to before games, Mobb Deep, Shook Ones, you know what I'm saying? Before my games, they used to get me so hyped. So yeah, man, but
my that brand that and I don't even like using that word brand, that movement was special.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
when Prodigy passed, I cried, bro. Like it's
mm,
crazy. Like I literally like I think about it, I'm a little bit not embarrassed, but a little bit like I was on social media, like I don't know what I was on. I was just feeling it so much and I was like, yo, man, not like snot coming out of my nose type shit, but just definitely
yeah,
like
yeah. You shed a
Yeah,
couple tears.
yo, like, I'm
Yeah,
talking about, I'm like, what them brothers, meant to me as a youth and all that, and just
no, but that's real.
they don't talk about what we talk about exactly, but I
Yeah,
thought there was an honesty and an authenticity and
absolutely.
an intimacy to what they were talking about. Very
Yeah,
small stories about, young brothers in the hood coming up. And when Prodigy passed, like I said, I teared up, whatever,
yeah,
whatever. And then you're thinking, damn, it's not going to be no more Mob.
mm,
Obviously, as a rapper, as an MC, you got a lot of stuff in the stash. So I expected things to come out.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
for Mass Appeal, for Nas and his whole team to decide to do all these records with legends that, you had the Ghostface record, the Raekwon record, Slick Rick, supposedly there's a De La Soul record coming out. When
yeah,
I saw that Mob was part of that, like I wasn't skeptical, but I was excited, but I was like, what is it gonna be?
yeah.
And
Same
I've
here.
only I've only ran it. I've only ran the record like maybe 3 or 4 times because I've been locked into, we just released our joint. So I was just like locked into that. But I put it on, I had it on last night, moving around, running
Yeah,
errands, doing my thing. And it's Mob.
yeah.
It's
It's my
Mob.
deep, man.
It's Mob shit.
It's my deep. That's a beautiful thing. They made it happen, man. It's really a my deep record, bro.
That shit is a Mob Deep Records.
Yeah. Yeah,
Queens.
it's
You know what I mean?
fire,
Shout out
man.
to
And
Queens. You
and
know what I mean?
they got Alchemist in there doing what he does. Just Alchemist and Half, man. It's just and it's mob, man. You feel it. You feel the
It's a
mob
Mob.
deep energy, man.
It's
The
a
just
Mob
off
Deep
the
record.
rip. Soon as I heard the single though, the first single, I was like, oh, this is fire. But I wasn't sure about the whole album. I'm like, are they gonna be able to do the real mob deep thing for the whole album? But they did it, man. That shit. Man, even that joint with Nas and Georgia Smith, man. You know what I
Ooh, a
mean?
love song, but it was
That's
hard.
fire. That's fire, man. And Nas came in like the old school. They had that track back in the day.
Thug Life is Mine.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And so yeah, everything. But they made it the Taj Mahal. Oh, that
Taj
shit.
Mahal. Yo,
That shit.
Taj Mahal, bro. This is what I'm saying. I haven't listened to it enough where I
Shit get
know,
me
okay,
hyped.
these are my favorite joints, but Taj Mahal is probably like I heard that joint and I was
Same,
just
same. I was like, yeah, yeah.
because it came out before the record, so I was like, all right, well, what else they got? But like, I think that's my favorite
Yeah,
joint
me
on it.
too. Taj Mahal.
Ooh, yo,
Yo,
was that Alchemist or Have?
it's out. It's out.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's out. It's out, man. That one is Alchemist. Yeah, but there's a few joints on there that I love, but that one's definitely one of my favorites, man.
yeah. I might rap on that instrumental. I might just come out for nothing. Like
Word
I might
up,
just
like
take that
on some
instrumental.
mixtape shit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just put it up on Bandcamp or like. Oh, I actually have a mixtape in the stash that I'm like kind of want to release. I thought of that last night. I was just like, maybe I'll add that to and put it out. But
Hey,
Jay
man,
would,
that's yeah.
Baby Jay would
That
kill me. He'd be like, we need to put that on the next project. Like, why are you wasting it on a mixtape? I'm like, nothing's a waste.
that joint get me hyped. That joint get me hyped, man. They got
Yeah,
Porter Henny's fire too, man. That's with Nas again.
yeah.
Yeah, they got a few real joints, man. They got clips on there.
I like that record. Like at
Yeah.
first, when I first heard it, I was like, it's cool, but
Yeah, it's
Clip's a
not
big fan
bad.
of mine.
It's not
Yeah,
one of my favorites, but it's dope too.
yeah.
It's dope
And
too.
they
Nah, they did it, man. They did it, man. I love him. And same, Mobb Deep to me, yo, it's also about like you said, like it's not exactly they don't talk about the same things that we do, but like, when I first started listening to hip hop, to like Mobb Deep and all and Wu-Tang and all of that, I didn't even really understand English, but it's just the energy, and it was like the fact that it was like young black men just being who they are, just being proud to be like, yo, I'm here, this is me, you know what I'm saying, being authentic, and that's what brought me in, like, yo, this shit. Those are the types of feelings that we felt, you know what I'm saying? Like with my cousin in Cuba when we started getting into hip hop and all that was like, yo, this they here, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we felt connected to them. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm,
Like the fact that you said that, I always wondered. Like, obviously, I listen to music with that. People don't speak English or whatever, and I'm
mm,
like, oh, I feel the energy. But I remember being in Japan, in Tokyo, doing a show years back in like '09. It was like a small tour that we did with a bunch of indie artists at the time in
mm,
Japan. And I remember rocking and like wondering to myself, like, do you understand what I'm saying? Right.
mm.
And some of the people knew the songs or whatever, so they were like saying it back. But what you just said let me know, like, damn, it's energy. It's
Yeah,
like we don't need to know the language. I
yeah,
see
it's
your energy, how
energy.
you
Yeah, yeah,
moving,
yeah,
your vibration, your bounce on the record. Like that's
yeah,
enough. It's like I
yeah,
don't need
yeah.
to know every little word at the time.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure, man. And hip hop does that, man. It has a special energy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But
Vibration.
but yeah, so that was that for me, man. It was Mobb Deep was definitely one of those groups for me, but definitely I knew what my lane was when I saw the video of Dead Prez Day Schools, man. I remember seeing that video. I was young, man. And when that video came on, man, it was on BET too. I was waiting, back then we didn't have YouTube like that. We was waiting to watch videos. I forget what it was on. And yo, when I saw that, I was like, yo, yeah, this is me. This is the type of shit that I need to be doing. I was like, yeah, man, day schools was heavy for me, man. I was like, okay, that's my lane right there, yo. I,
It was a special time,
it was
bro.
special, man. It was really special. You know what I'm saying? And I was also surprised at the same time that this shit was on regular television like that. I was like, yo, okay. You know what I mean? But
That's what we be trying to we trying to sneak on there like, oh, y'all gave us the mic.
right.
Check this out. I must like he says it in the song, blame it on the government and say it on the radio. And if
Hmm.
you don't already know, all you Uncle Tom askers and niggas gotta go. Like, yeah, like, we gonna get on the radio. Like, I don't know how many times we be on the radio or some shit and being like, you know what we about to say. And we'll do it in a way that it can be said. You
Word
have to
up.
deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just get up there and curse and be like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's about cursing. Like, no, we're gonna say that shit. The others might be scared to say or not know enough to say, but yeah, you're gonna get this right. You're gonna get this work on BET right now.
Right, right.
You're gonna get this work on Hot 97 right now, like
That's it.
or
No
whatever. You know
doubt.
what I mean?
Yeah, brother. Appreciate you, man. What's next, man? I know you say you got the Gorilla Volume 1 coming through. You got the gear popping, man. What else can we expect, man, from Ness and the system don't work?
Shows, more clothes, and me and my bros pushing it. Like, me and my brothers and sisters pushing it.
What up?
I don't even know why I kept mentioning the shit because I might end up doing another project besides Gorilla Raps Volume One. But right now, that's in my head.
Okay.
Probably the next EP album, whatever that's gonna come out from the System Don't Work. I'm working with some other homies, producers that outside of Jay with other projects, and whenever they manifest, I'll be shouting them out on Instagram. Definitely on Instagram. My personal joint is Nestagram, Neststagram,
Hmm.
and then the System Don't Work, all one word. And
Hmm.
also we got the System Don't Work Records, which is more focused on just the music.
What up?
But yeah, just stay tuned on all that. We all over, YouTube. It's the System Don't Work. TikTok. It's the System Don't Work. It's the systemdon'twork.com. And the clothes, we're definitely linking up with certain boutique shops,
Hmm.
bookstores, just certain spaces that will carry it and understand the vision of what we're doing. Shout out to Black and Noble out in Philly. Shout out to the Spot, DA Spot in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn. They carrying the work. We got a spot not too far from here, Miami Orange Sunshine, new boutique
Hmm.
concept store. They carrying the shit. So we moving around like looking for spots everywhere. So if you got a shop or you trying to link up, that's something that's super important. It is part of the movement. It's another medium that we get to speak
Hmm.
truth to power and connect and start conversations and just throw that bat signal up like, you know what it is. The system will work. Like I
Word
roll
up.
around with this shit on and people be like, you damn right, and then next we having a conversation. So
That's right.
that's super, that's in there. But in general, we just working, man. Living
Word.
every day, fighting this inflation, fighting the good fight,
That's it.
hustling, trying to live our lives out here. Shout out to my daughter Tisa. Shout out to all my peoples, and we're gonna keep rocking, man. We're gonna
No
keep
doubt.
building.
Appreciate you, my G. The struggle
Appreciate
continues,
you.
man. You already know. Peace, my brother.
Peace,
Uhuru.
Jay.
Uhuru.
Uhuru.
All right, all right. This is it. Episode 94 is in the books. Shout out to my brother Ness. Much respect. Make sure you go check out and support the project. It's more of us than them, and support the movement. All right, so today's health tip is fiber. All right. When it comes to nutrition and what we put in our bodies, a lot of times we're focused on protein, We may be focused on vitamins, minerals, which is good, obviously, but fiber is really key when it comes to healthy eating. I would say if I have to say one thing when it comes to your food and what's on your plate is just up your fiber. You could be eating, you should be eating around 30 grams of fiber per day. Okay? If you don't measure what you eat, that's okay. Just understand that you need to be eating a lot of fiber. Now, where can I find fiber and why is it good? When it comes to vegetables, you can find your fiber in artichokes, broccoli, sweet potatoes, Brussels sprouts, even carrots, you know. When it comes to fruit, we're going to be looking at things like raspberries, pears, apples, bananas, and even avocado if you want to count that as a fruit or vegetable, whatever. But avocado also has lots of fiber. Um, and then obviously whole grains, great source of fiber. Oats, quinoa for sure, rich in protein as well, fiber. Brown rice has fiber. Whole wheat pasta. And then the legumes, you know what I mean? Chickpeas, lentils, beans, all those have fiber as well. So yes, fiber is very important because it will first help you with digestion. Fiber supports your gut microbes, okay, which are, the good bacteria in your gut, which is necessary for digestion. Fiber will also work against inflammation. It can help lower your cholesterol and even stabilize your blood sugar, and it can even lower cancer risks. Okay, so in the long term, consuming lots of fiber is helpful for all types of sickness and disease. So when you're looking at your plate, make sure there's enough fiber and eat a variety of foods, eat a variety of plants. You know what I mean? And you will feel right and you will be ready for your day. All right, that was your health tip. Again, give thanks to the brother Ness. This is Black Power Media Reloaded. Make sure you check us out. We got lots of dope shows. Support guerrilla media. Support underground hip hop. This is it. By the Hoops Podcast. For the people, by the people, for the culture. Uhuru.